So guys, what we have now is that we have this session live on YouTube. Yeah. So, and what that's, I mean, oh, this isn't available anymore. I don't know. Oh, you have canceled it. I don't know. I don't know why they are saying that. Maybe I closed something, but I had to put it on. Who can start a collaboration? What collaboration now? Okay, let me see. All participants. My goodness. Things are, the controls have gone in and making life a bit harder. So I'll leave them and we just continue the normal way. But I wanted to live stream it so that after this, I don't have to again go into uploading it to YouTube or something, but it's okay. So
But it is showing it is live. It just showed the content is being streamed, live streamed. And on my side, I can see record and live.
Oh, you never know. Okay, thank you. So
does it go to the channel?
Yeah, it was supposed to go to the channel, and then someone can see that there's something live, and when they click, they can watch whether they can watch whether they are on the Zoom or not. So
let me go there.
I'm seeing live on YouTube. Oh, is it that? Okay, that's great, Peter. Thank you. And I'm happy that, Peter, you finally opened. Hope you are doing well. So with this, I'm just people like Stephen. So I'm gonna change here the order of auto and bring it over here. I've just switched the 0 from right and put it on the left side of auto. So later in the future, or if you've already done HCSS, you know what that means. So I'll now refresh over here. It's still, yeah, it has worked. So the auto, what the auto does is that if I give an element some width and I set the margin at the left and the right should be auto, the system calculates and knows that if this is 80%, I can apply a margin on the left and I can apply this amount of margin on the right. So I just wanted them to be like that. Okay, now we can continue. The decrement and increment operator. I'll put them in brackets. They are like that. The decrement is like that. The decrement is like this. All right. Now, after doing that, I'm gonna write a paragraph. Should I do a paragraph or should I do an article? I'll do an article instead of a paragraph, and I'll say, and I'll close the article. Okay, and I'll close the article. So then here, I'll put PHP. Before putting PHP, I can put a subheading, which is gonna be heading 3, and I'll call this increment. Okay, increment. So we have different operators for incrementing things. Just imagine, let's assume that we have someone's salary. No. Should we say salary? Yeah, we have someone's salary, which is set to 100. Assume that 100 is in dollars. Then we want to increment it, okay? We want a new salary, okay? So we can say new salary is equal to that. We want to increment the salary by 1, okay? So that the new salary becomes 101. So what we shall do is salary, then we shall put the plus twice without space in them. And what this does, let's see what it does. So now this time we are not going to use var_dump. No, we are going to use, we are going to use echo or print. Why aren't we using var_dump? It's because we are not finding the type of this. So here we do this, but I also put a paragraph so that this time around, I'll avoid using many break line tags, okay? I'll do that. And what we've done is somehow a good way of what we've done here, excuse me, what we've done here is somehow the right way of writing cleaner code. Okay, so we do that. And then if I go to the browser and all I need is to refresh, and here they are showing me 100. So I need to see what did I echo out. I echoed out new salary. So why have they not incremented the salary by 1? Instead, they have just brought they have just brought the old value, which is in salary, is what they have brought here and put here. So probably the reason, what could be the reason? What could be the reason? So what could be the reason for this? And I'm trying to think, sorry, but let me just try something here. So I'll try to say, yeah, I'll try to do something like this, and we see, then probably I'll be able to come up with an explanation of why the other one failed. So yeah, this one, they have been able to add the value. Now, now when we did this, they were not able to add the value, to add 1. What happens is that if we want to add, what we're gonna do probably is something like this, okay? Something like that. And then, yeah, let's see. Then if it works, I'll offer an explanation. That's better. So you are seeing those pluses, and yeah, you can see that now it's 1, 1. So what is happening is that this salary plus is expanded into something like salary is equal to salary plus 1. Okay, so you can see that it is broken down into salary equals salary plus 1. Now the previous one, which I had done wrongly, I'll put it here and just comment it out, which I had done new salary is equal to salary plus. So this one would be hard because it would have to be substituted with all of this statement. So in other words, it would have been, when it turns to be like this, you can't have 2 assignment operators in a statement. So that's why the other one wasn't working, okay? But this one is working because it's just a shortcut of this. It's where you have a variable and you assign the same variable to, you have an identifier, and this identifier has a value, which is 100. Then you break down that identifier and say that its value, which is 100 plus 1, be assigned to the same variable. Okay, that's an increment. That's one way an increment operator works. So you've seen that it's able to give us, in fact, this one here that we've done like this, if we can now come and say new salary equals to salary We can now say that, and then new salary can output the 101. Let's see. Perfect. So it's important to understand how an increment and a decrement operator works. All right. So let's check here. Let's check here. I'm gonna copy all of this from line 15 to line 27. I'll copy it and paste it over here. Then I'll say decrement. I'll say decrement. Now, the decrement I'll get, this time I'm not going to be with a salary, but I'm going to say age. And maybe we have someone of 25 years. And we're going to say age minus minus. What minus minus is doing here is just saying that age is equal to age minus 1. That's what it's saying, okay? So that if we output age, all we're gonna see is, so that if we output age, all we're gonna see is 20 what? Stephen, what do you expect?
Expect 24.
Amazing. Any objection, guys?
Thank you.
Any objection, guys?
I want to have an inquiry.
Yes, please, Peter, feel free.
Yeah, from the heading H3, like before you, can you be clear? Like I kind of didn't get the point where, because here you're using a salary of single plus double pluses, and then below you're using one minus, single minus.
Oh, nice. Single minus.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
Here. No, you've not seen it properly.
On line 32.
Yeah, on line 32. Oh, line 32. So what I'm saying is that this one, the line 31, okay, is a shortcut of line 32. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I get now. Thanks.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. So by the way, guys, feel free to ask, and if anyone laughs that sarcastically, then we shall make sure that they wouldn't afford community standards, so we shall discontinue them. But if they, so that people shouldn't laugh at answers or questions. So feel free to ask, even if you are a refresher and you feel like you want to know something clearer, please ask. We only help ourselves. The thing about community is that we are supposed to be supportive to each other. Does it make sense? All right, now I'll go over to the browser to cross-check. And what have we got? Just like Stephen said, we've got age of 24, all right? But then we usually want to be self-explanatory. So I think it's better we just say, we can write something here. How can we describe it? No, I think I don't know how we shall describe it. Maybe in the next videos I'll know. So that's how the decrement and increment works. But you can you realize that this one decrements by I would just put here an explanation which says that reduce the current value by 1. Okay. And this one is increase the current value by 1. But what if we wanted to increase by more than 1? What if we wanted to increment the salary by 100 so that this person starts getting a salary of 200? What if we wanted to decrease the age by 5 so that this person's age is 20. How shall we do it? There are other styles of decrement operators and increment operators. They are called, one of them is increment assignment operator. Yeah. And then, so how it would work is that if we have our, this time, let's just use distance. If we have someone distance biked, okay? Distance biked, I think Peter bikes sometimes. So distance biked is, let me say 74 point, that can be, wow. Distance biked is, let me say 10 kilometers, you know, 0.5. So, and we want to increment this distance by 2, okay? How shall we do it? We can just say that distance biked is equal and plus is it plus equals? Yeah, I think it's plus equals 5. So shortcut for this would be a shortcut for, let me put that line down. So I'll put the line here. Distance biked is equal to distance biked. Okay, this is another reason why we use variables as opposed to just write things. So it's better to have a name where you store your values so that you can now manipulate the value in that name. So here we can say distance biked equals distance biked plus 5. Okay, so this is a shortcut for line number, for line 41. All right, and then I can go ahead and put here, and oh, I have to echo out this. Then I say I want the distance biked to be displayed, and what is going to happen is that it has done that. So it shows that we've increased this distance biked by 5. Okay, so someone I'm sure is there is like, why don't we put the units there and things like that? So we are going to put the units of kilometers outside the PHP tag. We are going to put it there. Then here we are going to put distance biked, and we put a space and save. So you can see that I've put text here above, and then I've put the PHP here, and then I've put the KM after. Let's see how it displays. Then I give I explain more, because I wanted this to come so that you can see how you can write HTML and PHP together and make them look like you want. So what happens is that this, whatever is in line, if please kindly closely look at line number 39 up to line number 44. So whatever is here on those lines, this one here is processed by the server. That's by Apache or Nginx. I mean, all of these lines, line 40 and line 43, they are processed by the server and they are output to the browser by the server. So, but this one, line number 38 and line number 45, they are processed by the browser. Now, because we don't have any, remember, all of this is going to be rendered or displayed by the browser. So, and whatever is displayed by the browser is expected to be HTML. So now that this is arbitrary text without it being in a certain tag, it's considered to be part of this. So all of this will appear as a paragraph because we've put it inside a paragraph HTML tag. Okay, I understand that at this moment it might be confusing if you are brand new to HTML. However, stick around, you will like the ride. So the assignment, decrement assignment, increment assignment operator is the plus equals. Okay, so this one helps you to increment something by a certain step instead of just one. And the same thing applies if we want to decrement. Excuse me. It's the same thing if we want to decrement. So we shall go here and set decrement assignment operator, which is minus equal. And then this one, how do they measure swimming distance?
That is meters.
Meters, huh? Okay, so I'll put M here, and then I'll say swimming distance here. So remember, we are trying to follow good coding practices. So here, I'll write this, and I've written this because commonly PHP variables are written this way. It's emphasized to separate. If you have two words, you separate them with an underscore or a capital letter, and this style of the capital letter is usually known as camel case. Okay, but in PHP they commonly use this style. So we are going to assume this person. Let's say the system recorded that this person swimming distance was 4 meters, but later they realized that, oh no, actually that person swam for we have to reduce 1.2 meters. So what we're gonna do, we shall write swimming distance is equal to minus equals, and this is a short form for swimming. I'll put this one here. This is a short form for swimming distance is equal to this minus 1.2. So it's that's and then we can here output the swimming distance. So what do we expect to see here? People like Peter, you can help. What do we expect to see here? What do we expect to see if we go to preview? What will the code from line 48 to line 57 display? Feel free, a wrong answer is okay, correct answer is okay. Feel free. No, hold on for Peter. Let's give Peter a chance. Is he there? Maybe he's off. All right, let's consider you, Stephen. Probably Peter, we can't hear him or something.
Swimming distance 3.3 meters.
Okay. I think it's right. I'm not sure, but I think so. Any objection, ladies in the house? Do you think this is correct?
Yeah, I think it's correct.
You think it's correct, huh?
Why should you think? This is math now.
My
I
network
like
is on,
that one.
but I'm going with Steven's answer.
Okay, you are going with Stephen's answer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Let me preview. Congratulations, Stephen. Wow. Can we all give a huge round of applause to Stephen?
Their network, just give me a certificate.
If only you stay a little more sessions, you'll get your certificate.
I'm sorry, but sorry becoming a float now. So.
Yeah, you are becoming a float, just like who your friend who said that is a float, yeah, and the other is an integer. Yeah, so guys who are refreshing, I would like to pick from your brain when it comes to decrement and increment operators. Is there anything you'd like me to touch on, or you think that I've skipped that we can look at?
But for me, I have a question.
Yes, please.
When I go to websites, live websites, when I look at their code, there are no spaces at all.
When you go to live websites, I am one amateur. I have given that question to Caroline and Sharon. Let them
That's
answer.
how code has spaces. For me, I feel more comfortable when I have these spaces. They are easy for me to follow.
Okay, that's good. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And Caroline, please, are you there? Or are you watching World Cup? Has World Cup started? I remember when Spain was being smashed, I was asking for answers and the people...
Our team's lost and
people are just on the TV. That was a funny day. So, but ladies, so these ladies have decided to keep quiet. Oh, Caroline, you were in twice. Why? Do you have a money here? Why are you spying?
No, I'm actually going to disconnect one. I was having issues with one, so I had to connect with another.
Sorry. Okay, it's okay. Even if both of them remained, we wouldn't mind. But Stephen has a question that why does he, when he goes to live websites, he sees code that does not have spaces? Mr. Stephen, like which website, so that I try it out?
You just open any website.
Any website.
Just realize.
Okay, like this,
BBC.
like BBC.
Which spaces is he talking about?
Let's open the website and we see bbc.co.uk, right? Or bbc.com.
Not .com.
I think .com, eh? Maybe this one will also. Okay, let me go there. This one here. So if I go to view page source. Oh, this one, I can see some spaces. I can see some spaces. But you know, whenever you are presenting, yeah, but yeah, it's okay because I think Maureen or Caroline, have you gotten the idea what Stephen is talking about? Which website can we try? I think I've also seen that before. I think I've also seen that before. So, which I think it's get bootstrap. Let me see. Oh, getbootstrap.com. Okay. Oh my goodness. So I'll try to view page source for this one. And we see. Okay, there are spaces, but you can see that they are minimal in this one. And yeah, I can see what. Okay. So Caroline, have you gotten the idea what Stephen is asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was looking at our code, it looks a bit organized. It has spaces, these spaces here at the left, and you can see that they increase depending on which one is inside each other, and the collapsing codes becomes easier. We can collapse this entire article, and you know. So what do you think? Why do you think he sees that? Can we pass to Sharon?
Yep, you can pass to Sharon.
Okay, you've accepted the defeat, huh? People don't want defeat. It's silence.
I'll give a try after Sharon has given her say.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, that's a joke. Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So what do you think? Can Stephen repeat his question?
I think I've understood this question. But I noticed that much as we are using, probably are using a code formatter to format our code and make it look cleaner. But I noticed that almost every site that you view, its source code is arranged a certain way. That's why I personally think it's maybe the way Chrome is designed to show the code. I don't know, but however organized your code is, when the site is live and you try to view page source, there's a certain way it appears, like it's not indented the way it would look when you're coding. For me, that's something I've noticed.
Okay, that's amazing.
So I have my conclusion is that maybe the way Chrome is designed to show this code to people because it looks similar.
Okay,
on every side.
Okay, thank you for your submission. And so Madame Caroline said that she would not take the defeat and she would compliment on what you did, what you submitted, and you've really done us good. You've submitted something that is comprehensive or debatable something. So, Madame Caroline, let's go.
Yes, David, I think I'll go with what Sharon has said. I am also thinking it depends on the browsers as well. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Give us as homework.
All right. Homework. Well, yeah, I think I think someone is very smart here. This one is very smart here, but it's well, code comes in two. Should I call it two versions? I think, pardon me, English is not my first language, so I'm not really perfect at it. So that's why I'm using the word versions. If there's a better word, I'll be happy to learn it. So the thing is, there is what we call open source code. I mean source code, not open source, but there's something we call source code, and there's something we call production code. So usually, commonly, HTML is not, most websites don't put their HTML into production mode. You know, by production mode, they will minimize the code and remove all the spaces simply because they want the HTML file to be a little smaller than it would be, okay, with the spaces, so that when the website is loading on the browser, it loads a little bit faster, okay? Then usually, commonly, this is done with JavaScript libraries. You never get a JavaScript library in production mode and you find any space in it, okay? So what that means is, in fact, if you ever see a file, a CSS file or JavaScript file, which has MNI in it, usually, for example, you might find bootstrap.min.js. The min stands for minified. To minify is to compress, remove all the spaces, remove all the tabs, and just and let us have minified code, because we don't assume that in production someone is going to read that code. But for source code, which a developer is supposed to read, it has to be maintained this way. Like Sharon said, it would have to be, you would even have to involve a code formatter like Prettier and a linter to find the errors so that you don't have errors in it, and so that it can be highlighted in different ways. And of course, browsers have their engines that display HTML in a certain way. So commonly, the code that you are going to see without spaces on the web is CSS and JavaScript. It's rare to see HTML in a minified form. But whenever it's minified so that in production, the files can load faster. And because in production, they don't expect developers to read the code. Clear?
Clear.
Very clear.
Okay,
thank you,
guys.
More than I asked for.
Oh, wow, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you. So the same way we did the increment and assignment, we can also have like a division and assignment, okay? We can also have a multiplication and assignment. We can also have a modulus and assignment. One thing I really want to cover that I think I did not cover with you, but I remember you did it in homework, was the modulus operator. I don't know if many people know what it does. The modulus operator is usually this percentage symbol, you know. And what does it do, if anyone knows?
I'm going to just use the knowledge of Python. I don't know if it does the same thing. So when you use the modulus operator, and it will divide, but it brings a remainder. So the remainder is the answer, yeah.
Absolutely. So you use the modulus operator to divide two or more numbers so that you'd get to know if they have a remainder. So usually this is done if we are checking if a number is an even number or odd number. Okay. So perfect. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you very much. So divides operands. Okay, let me just say numbers. And returns a remainder. How do we write the remainder? Like that? I don't know if that's the correct spelling. So in any case, if we had the number 1 and it had a value 5, but then we want a divisor of 2, then we go over here and we are looking for the answer, not answer, result equals to number 1 modular. I don't know if it's called modulus, pardon me, modular the divisor. People who are mathematical a bit, guess the answer for this one. Please, we are about to go. Hello?
I think it's a 1.
You think it's a 1? Okay, who thinks it's not a 1? Since this guy is a teacher, that's what you told me last time. If he fails, he buys us a pizza. So, what do you think, guys? Is it a deal? Peter, what do you think about this? So I'll put here 5 modular 2 is equal to, so this is not going to be resolved. It's going to be displayed the way it is because I've not put it in PHP, but then PHP will process this section here, 61 up to 66. Okay, let's go. Wow, congratulations. So if we have 5 oranges and we have 2 people and we decide to give each these individuals, we decide to give them mangoes, I mean these oranges, we shall be able to give each one of them 2 oranges and we shall remain with 1, assuming we wanted to give them an exact equivalent, number of oranges. Because I know someone might say, but we can divide the other orange, but you can't be sure that the piece you've cut is really half. So we would remain with 1 orange, just the same way Stephen does it when he's teaching his students. He remains with some. So, all right, that's how the modular works. And to see its difference with from the division, somebody has posted something. I'm going to read it in the chat. Thank you. Please bring in another example of the modulus operator. Oh, really? Before I bring in the modulus operator, let's bring the division so that that might clear things up. But but Peter, you are smart. Maybe this time you want to make sure you give the answer. So divide 2 numbers, divide numbers, and return a result. And return a result. So that means that the result might end up being a float as opposed to being. So if we just put the division operator here, and these are our numbers, I mean here, and these are our numbers is still, what do we expect to get? Stephen, what do we expect to get from this?
We gave this one to Sharon. This is for young girls.
She has run away.
2.5.
Yeah, exactly. So this one will give us 2.5. So Stephen, do you still need another example of the modulus operator?
I can give you myself an example.
Okay. Give me yourself as an example.
Now, no. You see where there is 5. Where there is 5, you put 10.
On which line?
After line 70.
Line is 70. So you want me to, you want me to put 10 here?
Yeah, then you put 4. Modular 4. Yeah, still on line 70.
Okay, what I'm gonna do, instead of doing that, it's better I just copy the line so that we retain the current one.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are saying, let's now start from line 79 or 80. So 80. You are saying I put 10 here.
In place of 5, you put 10, then a modular, then you put a 4 there. Then number 1 is 10.
4.
Number 2 is a 4. And then a modular. And when you refresh, it will give you a 2.
Okay. You guy, I am a mathematical teacher.
Me? No. I just have a good teacher.
Okay. Peter, what are you saying? Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for that, Stephen. Thank you. Yes, Peter.
Can you try again one more with a bigger number? Let's say 70 or above.
Okay, let's say 70 and what?
And 30.
Yes.
70 and 30. So what do you expect to get from this one?
Asking me or Peter?
No, for you.
Why you get a 10?
You are expecting a 10. Okay, so I also have to change here the out here so that we don't mislead the viewer. But now tell Caroline that let her not leave us for World Cup. After all, our team is gonna be beaten. So
and it is even at 10, not now.
I'm around.
But she has run very fast, huh? So 70, yeah, that's 10. So Peter, do you still want another example?
I was still trying to get it in my head to cram the modulus.
Yeah. Basically, you just have to learn to understand it. Otherwise, cramming might end up bringing you issues. You know.
But David.
Yes.
David, the truth is I'm getting the answers, but now in real life, where does this modular work?
You know, in real life, I may not be able to guess currently, but when you start building a project like the one now this guy was telling us in the chat, you realize, you know, programming is like, I think, civil engineering or architect. When you are an architecture, you learn all these angles, but you may not know when to use them. But then one day a guy invites you and he has a crooked plot of land. That's when you get to know that, You know, he wants a swimming pool, he wants a good house with a porch and the parking, you know. So you can imagine. So that's when things are gonna work. But especially if you're building projects that have to do with loans, loan management systems. You know that you are going to either calculate a simple interest or a compound interest, and you may want to know things like, after a certain period of time, how much has been accrued. Here, you may end up wanting modulars. The other way is, what if you want to divide, you are building a project which is all about distributing money among people. Okay, and you all agree that these people, we are supposed to distribute into them equal amounts of cash, not digital money. So for currency like Uganda shillings, you know, we do not have decimals in the cash. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, sure.
So if you divide and you get 10,000.5, it's now very hard to give it to someone. So that means that you may want to know. So
the
there are many
take it.
Probably, you know, yeah. So
but I want to ask Peter, has he got it? Peter, did you get it?
Peter, are you there? Maybe it's off. I don't know. Yeah. Peter. Is on, but I don't know if he has gotten it. However, I have to emphasize that with these things, let's try as much as possible to understand. The moment you understand that I'm going to divide numbers or given numbers, okay, but then want to know the remainder. If I want to know the remainder, you know, like for example, you might not be sure if when you divide 10 into 5, whether you get 2 without a remainder. So you may want to prove, you know, you may want to prove. And usually you may use this in proving. Does it make sense?
A lot of it.
All right. All right. Thank you. So then there is also where when we can use, how do we call it? The squared, squaring. I don't know if it's correct that is squaring numbers. Like if you want to get the square of 4. Yeah, so Peter says he's got it. So we may use, for this one, for the squaring of numbers, we shall use this, the double asterisk. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Asterisk.
It's A-S-T-E. The first E is not there.
Oh, it's like this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Probably, yeah, probably. So I would still pronounce it as asterisk. So asterisk. So I don't know if other people would pronounce it differently. This is just for those people who did not know the spelling. So what I would do is I would say, we all know that if we multiply 4 by the square of 4 is what?
16.
The square of 4 is 16. So, so this won't be 16. What would it be? Or if we, okay, let me just make it this. Okay. Then we come here.
Yeah, I understand you now.
Okay. Okay, so I would do that and call this square to make it a little bit easier for people. And then we do this. One thing I remember is that I wasn't a sharp guy in mathematics in my O level. Even in P6, I got 19% in math, and I was battered by my father badly. But luckily, because I was meant to get a first grade in PLE, luckily the school got a teacher for mathematics. I was a young man, and he taught us in P7, and I scooped a D2. So, but when I went in secondary, yeah, this feeling, feeling happy that I got a D2 in math in primary. So I was able to perform averagely, a little bit above average. And still in the final exams, I got, I think, a D2 still in senior 4. But still, I can't say that my head is mathematical. However, I can say that the more I've worked with programming, the more I've become good at math. So why am I saying this? I'm saying that to remind you not to get intimidated by these signs you see. These are just signs. They are created by people like us or like you. They are not created by machines. So what does that mean? That means that you by knowing that they are created by people, you can be encouraged to also try than feeling like, because I know people might be like, oh my goodness, no, what are we doing now? I thought it was supposed to be programming, now math. But also I have to remind you, most problems that people are facing, they require solving problems through mathematically. Okay? All right, let's go. So if I have something like that, you can see what I get. Okay? I get a 16. That is the square of 4. So it's like, so the way we would expand this, okay, thank you, Mr. Steven. So the way we would expand this is that it's like we are saying 4 multiplied by 4.
Oh.
You get, that's what we are saying. Or 4 multiplied by 2, then multiplied by 2, right? Would this give us the same? We can grab a calculator, I think.
Yes.
I don't want to.
It will give us
the same, right? Okay, let's just prove, just in case someone doesn't feel comfortable. Hey, where's the calculator now? In case, I'll leave it. This system, whenever I bring out the calculator, it disappears. Maybe because it's a virtual environment. Yeah, so, and here I will have to write expect what? Expect 16. And you usually do this in, let me say, same as 4 times 4, or 4 times 4 times 4 times 2, or no, we can't have another because I was going to say 2 2 times 2, but then our sample is 4, so that wouldn't make sense. So yeah, so guys, how is today's session? How are you feeling about it?
For me, actually, I didn't study any PHP in today's lesson. I'm just seeing math. Yeah, just seeing math.
Okay, that's amazing. Probably how I can say it is that maybe you've learned how to use math with the PHP. That's what I can say. Yeah, but yeah. And someone else, please, we are concluding. We are not adding any more because of time. I know some people might even be in places where they want to move and go somewhere. So kindly, anyone have an input. Remember that this is also on YouTube, which could be a great thing for you, for your voice to be heard in the community.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe bring the feedback from YouTube
I've been following from YouTube, and it's very loud and clear. Yeah,
wow, that's amazing.
I think
that's
my network
really
has to be stabilized. I'll back here. But the lesson was fab. I was following.
Wow, thank you very much. So is there anything new you've learned or you've got clarity on?
Yeah, I've learned something, though I missed the first part. I think I'll have to review the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do after watching the match. I'll review the YouTube today before I sleep. The first part.
Okay, which team are you supporting? Which teams are playing? I don't even.
I'm supporting Croatia.
Croatia and Argentina.
Hey, you fear to lose.
No.
You in essence, you support Argentina, but because you fear to lose, you are saying you are supporting Croatia.
I want those first timers to at least
take
win.
the trophy.
Croatia and
Morocco. Wow. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah. Thank you very much, Henry, for your feedback, and we wish you the the best result in regards to the World Cup match. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So, does anyone have something to say? And the other thing that I can point out, especially in the case of Caroline, when she was giving us an answer for the modulars, she told us that she's going to give us based on the experience she has with the Python. Okay. And I'm super, super glad to say that I'm happy that she brought up that point, because programming, especially when it comes to fundamentals, it's always the same. You get, it's all the same. A variable will always be defined the same way as it is defined in another language, it be a strictly typed language. The only difference might be the syntax, but it will carry the same meaning. So an operator is similarly the same thing. And there are very few operators that are in other languages that are not in Python. So for example, I don't think that Python has a ternary operator that is similar to the ternary operator PHP and JavaScript use. Probably also Java. It could be a little bit different, but the syntax is the same. I mean, the meaning is the same, that I will always have a condition and then I expect to get a true or false value. So that means that if you learn one language very well, you are able to pick up another language very well. Okay. So then what, anyone else has feedback? Or can we call it the end and we stop here?
I was almost going to say the same thing, David, that I was basically so amazed by PHP about the fundamentals. Yeah. When you actually master one programming language, I believe that you can walk through other programming languages. You'll find, one or two things that differ from other programming languages, but still you'll find yourself that you're walking through it and understanding someone else's code. Just like if someone gives you a code to read and you're supposed to collaborate with these people, I can give like a scenario. Like when I was working on some projects, we were using different programming languages. And you could definitely read a JavaScript and understand what the person is trying to do. You understand? So that's what is really amazing me with these programming languages. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's so nice. Thank you for adding and for making your voice heard. So, okay, anybody else wants to say something before we close the We close the window or the door. I think it's closing the door. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you guide me here. I'm learning two things at a go. I'm also doing Python the other way. So I started with Python. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to contradict somewhere, or it is good to pick up and I keep going slowly.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. Thank you for bringing up that. What I can tell you is that it depends on your motive. There is no correct and wrong format to doing things in terms of personal development and probably building careers. There's no right or wrong step-by-step process of becoming a better programmer, but you pursue and depending on your abilities, don't let anything limit you. You can push the limiting borders a little bit at a distance. So what I can maybe emphasize is that if you are learning both, then you need to find use cases for both, okay, or in one, and develop it in one, and develop a use case in one, and then attempt to develop the other use case in another. That way, you are most likely to grasp, because it's totally possible. I'm not a person who learned it that way, but it wasn't intentional for me not to learn it that way. For me, I remember I started with JavaScript when I was learning, but I never understood a thing. But then PHP became easier for me, because all I wanted by that time was to process a form. All I wanted was, I had an HTML form that I wanted to send it data and for that data to be stored somewhere. So I think also based on the age and tech savviness that I had during that time, probably 8 or 10 years back, and also being a self-taught, I didn't have anyone to guide me. I went away with what was easier for me, you get? And what was easier for me in that case was the PHP. I learned it for some years, and then I jumped back to JavaScript on a need basis. In fact, I remember there was a World Cup which I won a certain what? How do you call it? A certain website which teaches code. It's actually called sitepoint.com. They put up a contest that predict the World Cup winner, and you win a book of your choice. I remember by that time I won a book about jQuery, because I was desperate to learn JavaScript at that time, because I had learned a good level of PHP. So later after learning JavaScript well, now I could learn Python, but I could not become as good as I am in Python. I could not become as good as I am in PHP and JavaScript, because I've never sat down there and solved the problem in Python, because usually the problems I find, I'm able to solve them using JavaScript or PHP, and I'm always like, now why do I go Python? So I leave it. I've ever pursued a career in data science. In fact, I got a scholarship to study on data camp, where I performed good. But then when I was given the opportunity an internship opportunity to practice my data science skills, they realized that I didn't have a bachelor's degree. And they said that, you know what, we've offered the job to someone who has slightly higher credentials, but keep trying. So because I was already a web developer who wanted to become a coach, I decided to stop pursuing data science and concentrate on coaching others how to program. So for you, that if you hear my story, that means that it will depend your your grasping abilities will depend on how practical are you with each of those languages.
Wow, awesome. I want to follow your footsteps.
Oh, really? I'm happy that you've liked it. Wow.
No,
it's encouraging.
Maybe what I just wanted to ask you, like you said you didn't have a degree, like you didn't have a degree in data science or any other course?
No, I don't have any bachelor's degree in my life.
How do you make it?
My highest academic level of education is senior 4.
Man, you're genius.
I wouldn't say that. I would only say that probably I know where I come from. Maybe if I did not choose to go hard on myself, maybe I would have ended up in drugs or something like that. But I wanted to be something, and I never wanted the circumstances like lack of money in the family to really define me. You know, I never wanted them to define me. So I wanted to be someone who is important in the community, someone who would be a good father, you know, someone who would, you know, that pushed me. And because I think I'm also better placed, because by the time I was in senior 4, internet cafes were all over Kampala. So you could go to an internet cafe and study something. You could go to a friend who studies computer at their school and get some notes. So that made life a little bit easier. But then I'm sure there is someone who is in a place where it did not get to technology when they are young, and life
like
could
me
have been different, you know, like you. So my point here is that it doesn't matter whether you have a degree or not. What matters is what you want to be.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to make it. I want to be like you, David.
Wow, you will.
I'm coming for Python mentorship too.
You feel free. Caroline is
you
there.
And Maureen.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel free. We are always available, and you can do it. We want many people in Uganda to really take advantage of technology, and also put the country's name on the map of technology. It would really be marvelous.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I wish you the
Thanks
best
so
of
much
luck.
for your input.
You are welcome. Peter, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. I see them in the chat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another thing maybe is I always see today David is hosting, tomorrow Fan is hosting, Stephen is hosting. We have like a Zoom account for this, or we like?
Oh, actually, Stephen has volunteered a Zoom account. That's why you see we've not been disturbed with the 40-minute limit. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes as a co-host, because Stephen could be away or something, but you've seen that Fanny today is traveling, so she couldn't attend fully, and she couldn't be a host. Yes.
Oh, for you don't have a premium account?
No, I don't. It's something I heard, but financially,
I think I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to liaise with you. I'm going to create for you an account for. Yeah,
wow.
I'm going to give you an account for Zoom.
Wow. We are blessed. Thank you very much, and God bless you. So, yeah, for the kind heart and sharing.
You're going to be a Sarongo.
Who? Him?
You. No, you.
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah. So I can be like, Yeah, I can be like, should I today use this one or the other one? Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I think the only Peter and Sharon are the only people who have not spoken to conclude. But I think we can go. And thank you guys for attending. I'm happy, super excited that I don't know how it is on YouTube. So I'm happy to go there and listen to it and see how it appears, because on my computer it does not show me. All I can see is this green thing of Zoom that show live and stop sharing, but I don't know how it is appearing on YouTube. So guys, I'm so super thrilled.
The same way it is appearing this side, it is appearing good. It was clear.
Okay.
The only difference is that there's some lags in seconds. Zoom is a little bit in front and YouTube follows behind. Yeah, that's the only difference.
Maybe because it's a Zoom. Maybe it's because it's a Zoom that is processing.
Yes, that's
then.
Why that's why I didn't come in any questions and those things, because I was trying to follow in and
I understand. All right. Thank you very much for being collaborative. Let's maintain this pace, guys, and we can have some things. And I believe that if we support each other's community, we can even get projects and work on them together for experience and earning and solving problems. So, guys, I wish you a good night. Wish you a good night. At least for this session, someone who wants to catch up, I won't have to upload. They will just go instantly and watch. And I think the next
that's what we also usually do.
Okay, that's marvelous. All right. Yeah, so thank you guys. By the way, Stephen, thank you. You've been so engaging ever since we started, and Henry. Yeah, and I'm asking the same from Peter and the ladies, you know. Yeah,
welcome.
Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Peter.
Okay. As if David had wanted to say something. I saw that he raised his hand. I don't know.
Oh, David. Okay, let's give him an opportunity.
Yeah. No, I was just clapping for the Zoom offer for the Salongo. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
So I was just clapping and excited over the offer that they had given us, because all of us are going to benefit.
Indeed.
Yeah. And I would like to wish you all a good night. Yeah, we'll meet next time.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you on Saturday. Bye-bye.